Moves himself up to second place. In the wall hard goes Casey Kane.
Hold the brake, buddy.
And Martin Truex.
Hold the brake.
Wow, that was huge. Look at that car. And you think we're not going fast here?
Martin's all right. Unhooks his cool tube.
Look at that thing.
What a hit. And Casey Kane is moving around in his car.
Martin went over to check on him.
Darrell, that might be the hardest hit I've ever seen at this small a racetrack.
I tell you, that was amazing. Look at that race car. It is demolished.
You think they're not going fast here? Watch this.
I get a feeling something happened to Martin Truex Jr. in that 56 as hard as he was driving it off in that corner.
Sure does.
I mean, he wasn't even able to slow it down, it didn't look like.
I bet well, it's hard to say about brakes, but that looks like a car that lost its brakes.
Now, he has dropped a lot of fluid on the racetrack. Radiator, oil, cooler, everything into the wall. So NASCAR is going to bring this to a halt while they clean up from Casey Kane and Martin Truex. In the wall hard goes Casey Kane.
Hold the brake, buddy. Hold the brake. Hold the brake. Okay, hold the brake.
Wow, that was huge.
You all right, bud?
Yeah.
I think it looked like the 56 lost his brakes or something. Something happened there. What do we got, Cole?
To the corner and looked when we were heading to the wall.
Oh, trouble on the back, guys. See cars going around.
3 cars around, mid-stretch. Truex wrecked. Mark Martin wrecked. Regan Smith in the outside wall. Caution at lap 215. There's a look from Kevin Harvick.
31 shop track. Stay low. It's all good. Stay in it. Stay in it.
Not sure.
I think Truex was really. I think he was about to spin out.
From A.J. Allmendinger.
See, Truex, he was trying to stay off the 2 car, and he got loose trying to turn it off of him. I don't believe the 29 had any contact at all.
Boy, what
Another
a close
hard
call
hit
for Allmendinger in that 43. And Regan Smith in the 78 just nowhere to go.
And Jamie McMurray in the 1 is going to sneak through here. Whew, and miss it.
Trevor Bayne also did a nice job of getting through that.
As did Dave Blaney, Tony Stewart, and Joey Logano.
Still inside. Watch it there. Watch it. We're in that one. You all right, Mark? You all right, bud?
Look, I know these cars are safer. This is exactly what I talked about in the pre-race show. The cars are safer, the tracks are safer, but these guys, they risk something. They're risking their safety every time they get in one of these things.
Both of those hits to the inside wall, that was steel against concrete.
Look at Mark Martin's car on fire, and Mark hit Truex. He never was out of the throttle.
Gordon in the middle, 3 wide, nowhere to go. Kyle Busch is a rocket. Nobody is running the outside.
Oh, there they go. There
Gordon
they go.
Slammed. Menard. Mark Martin. It's a crash fest in the backstretch.
They couldn't keep doing that, Mike. They just couldn't.
There you go.
Heavy left front damage on Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, that's pretty killed on the left side right there. Matt Kenseth.
For all his strategy, he is wrecked, and you'll see it all from the DirecTV blimp shot.
Oh boy. I mean, when you get to racing like this right here, look at it, 3 wide. That's 3 good drivers, 3 good cars.
Boy, it's like Boyer became the sandwich, the meat and the sandwich between the 17 of Kenseth and the 27 of Menard.
Yeah, and Jeff Gordon slammed that inside wall hard, left driver's side.
And the first contact was Kenseth and Boyer. The 17 and the 33, not here. We're okay until they get kind of nose to tail, and there's just no room.
Well, it almost is like Matt saw that he had some room to move over toward Jeff Gordon, but he didn't take into consideration they were 3 wide behind him.
Darrell, I can't help but think you UPS Logistic, open up, closed up.
Yeah, that door slammed shut, Larry.
But as you watch, see Tony Stewart near the top of the screen, right behind Boyer. Watch him scoop through here. Casey Kane on the inside, slams on the brakes to miss Gordon, and Kane gets through. Stewart and a lot of them just thread the needle.
Boy, Gordon almost came back up there and got Harvick in that 29.
You know, Mark Martin got turned around. I'm not sure how much damage he got.
David Rudeman got him in a double zero.
Yeah, he got a lot of left side damage as well.
Smith and
miles an hour with somebody pushing.
Trouble, turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Keselowski, David Rudeman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth,
big
and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian Vickers limping around. And Mark Martin is part of it. Greg Biffle got a piece of it. Joe Nemechek's right front all torn up. The 9 of Marcus Ambrose.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, Larry. They're running awfully close together.
Watch the top right of your screen coming
right up here.
Michael into his teammate Rudeman.
Got Rudeman loose.
Right in front of Keselowski. Here comes Nemechek. Pow into Michael.
Nope, didn't make it. Didn't make it.
Brian Keselowski, we just talked about, was involved. That white car up against the wall there.
There's Mark Martin down here, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. My. Let's see if we can see anything. Well, there's not a whole lot to see. Michael just got into the back of the. Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there and got Michael with it.
And Darrell, everybody was going to the apron, but those cars sliding off 31 degrees of banking, that's where they're going to end up.
It's kind of an old saying down here. What goes down must come up. And you try to go around on the outside if you can.
Jimmy Johnson's 48 just barely got into the back of Matt Kenseth to do enough damage to the right front.
The old Aaron Stream machine, she's done.
They're still side by side there, Ellen. Let's send it back to you, but don't forget about Ambrose. He finished 6th here in the spring.
And having a top 5 might hang on there. Jimmy Johnson sideways. Is he going to be able to save it? No. What a hard hit.
We're done, guys. We're in it.
That was a hard look. Man. He was doing everything he could to try to save it. So racing for 7th place. Ryan Newman 39 to his outside.
Yeah, you could see that car just start to wiggle where he was trying to get in the gas to be able to stay beside Ryan Newman and maybe complete that pass down the back straightaway. Over corrects here. Hard impact. See the rear wheels come off the ground.
Look at the air that car got with those back wheels. How hard it went into the wall. Watch the back tires here.
Well, look at the wall, too. Imagine what that would have been like without that safer area. This is where we really have to thank NASCAR for all the hard work and efforts, the manufacturers, everyone involved that makes these race cars and these racetracks so much safer for the drivers.
Saw the hands start to go.
Yeah, and you can see in that position happens to everybody, even the very best in our sport.
Back there, by 10.
That's him. Reagan behind him. David Reagan.
Behind the race leader.
David Reagan.
No caution yet. David Reagan coming back to the start-finish line.
They're wrecking everywhere now. They're wrecking again.
Reagan with sweet redemption gets the victory at Daytona.
2 separate wrecks on the last lap.
Great job. Thank you a lot, Matt.
Oh, man, these guys are flying by Newman.
He was a sitting duck. So here's the first wreck, Kyle, that we talked about on the final lap.
Yeah, and it's hard to really say. You see the 9 car get turned, the 9, the 51, and the 00. It's hard to say right there because they're just in the corner of the screen. But in front of these guys, they're wrecking on around the corner here.
All this happened
you see
over
right here
in turn 3.
It looks like somebody got. It looks like Castle just slid up the racetrack and got into the left rear of Ambrose.
Yeah, and
he may have got shoved up. You know, by that angle, it's hard to see, but
it is hard. And the 00 had already been in an accident, and so had the 51 car of Landon Castle. These guys had already been in an accident, and there's Vickers.
Usually, where it does happen, coming to the checkered at Daytona, no matter what. Take a look at it. I saw the 48 right up in the middle. Comes down, and I think the one is going to get hooked by, or the one in the 88 got together.
Yeah, it's like the one came.
Yeah,
it's like McMurray came down on Junior. Junior got down on the flat, had to come back up on the racetrack, and then, I mean, and this is the second wreck, as you said, and these guys are still just hauling the mail through.
But this is kind of typical for here, as far as the finish goes.
Look at those
this
guys.
is normally where it happens. Those guys are finishing wrecking up in 3 and 4,
and in the background. That's great.
Around goes Vickers.
Oh, no, another one.
Low. Watch me, both sides. Come on.
Oh, this is wiping out half the field.
This is a big one on the backstretch at Phoenix.
Look at that.
Brian Vickers got sideways and then was perpendicular to the field. There's his silver car up against the wall.
My goodness.
Jamie McMurray, part of the pileup. Bobby Labonte, after a great Daytona 500 with front end damage.
Let's see if we can
Jeff
see.
Burton,
Look at Burton.
all torn up. Darrell, let's take one look here. Clint Boyer's just gone to the garage.
Here's Brian Vickers out here, and again off turn 2, he gets turned around. Looked like he may have got hit by the 56. Nowhere to go.
All right, we'll sort it out after this. 13 cars have piled up in the back straightaway at lap 66 here. There is a list of the cars involved, some of whom have already made it back to the garage, some under their own power, some not. We're going to take a look at the start of this one, and it begins at Brian Vickers and his number 83 Toyota. You see Vickers right there on the outside of Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I thought when he got sideways that maybe the 56 got into him, but I don't think he did now. I think it was just from Matt getting into the 83 of Vickers and getting him loose. And it's, you know, we've seen cars have trouble off of 2 over there. It must be really slick up high.
Now we'll look at Martin Truex's in-car, which will show you that he did not get into Vickers.
Yeah.
Until Vickers was already sideways. Little contact there with Matt Kenseth.
You're all clear, man. All clear, all the way down. Big crash behind you. Big crash.
Yeah, Martin and the 56 Truex actually did a great job of getting through that without any contact.
Got a hold. Check it up. Come on. Low. Watch me. Both sides. Come on. Go low. Good job.
Back down there.
Takes a little time for him to get wound
here
up.
we go. Martin got turned by Joey Logano on that one.
Look at him. Big crash. Several cars involved, and it all got started when Logano got Mark Martin.
Truex is in it. Mark Martin's in it. See the
Stewart's in it.
33.
Sorry, guys.
Like Castle's in it.
Wow.
We will get a second attempt at a green-white checker.
Half the field's gone.
See the damage for pole sitter Mark Martin. Let's go high above and watch the restart.
Keep your eye on Logano in the 20 car. Got Mark Martin up beside him. And what happens, I think, when they get down to 1 or 2, Logano just kind of finds himself in the middle with no place to go here. See how he's kind of sneaking up in there? Just ran out of room.
Regan Smith got a piece. See Travis Kvapil climbing in. David Rudeman.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, when you look at that, Mark's there, and Logano's there. I don't know where Mark was going. Yeah, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? I mean, Joey couldn't really go anywhere. They all were trying to get to the same place on the racetrack for whatever reason. I don't know why Mark tried to jump off the back of the group he was in. But of course, he doesn't have a partner anymore. That up, show it.
I'm back at Infineon Raceway, and yes, that is a live picture.
You know, payback sometimes. Well, a lot of times it happens around this place. Tony Stewart just got paid back for what he did earlier to Brian Vickers. And that's the result.
Yeah. Sixth caution of the day. And that is an interesting position. Here is the replay coming into turn 11.
I'm not sure.
Those are the guys just in front of him.
Yeah, but there's Vickers. Already made contact with Stewart.
Vickers had worked his way into the top 5. Had to make another pit stop anyway. So the attitude kind of, what the heck, I'll let him go and then pay it off.
And I can guarantee you that.
All clear.
All Vickers has been thinking about since he got turned by Stewart was getting in a position to do this.
Looking for him. Where's that 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Vickers got turned around earlier, Ryan Pemberton, his crew chief, was giving him the play-by-play of what happened. Vickers said, I know, I felt it.
Yeah,
One more time.
This is early. Okay, no, this is just now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Vickers comes from the left side of the racetrack, or from on your screen comes from the right side of the racetrack across to run in the back of Tony.
Oh, big crash in turn number 2, David Ruderman. Oh, goodness. 6 gets, it's like, oh, my gosh. Goodness gracious. Wow. Like Boris said, got into the 6 car. David Reagan. Oh, my goodness. That's a hard lick for David Reagan, but this, oh, my goodness. Bonfello is also into the wall in that.